You had a conversation with President Trump a couple of months ago, and you talked about Epstein.
St. Patrick's Day, he invited me to sit in on a cabinet meeting, which he does from time to time. And he said, look, we got files, Kennedy, King, Epstein, what do you think? And I said, well, first, Kennedy got put out pretty much everything, which he did. King, he didn't. I don't know why, because that's important, too. And then on Epstein, I said, you got to be careful here, because this is now being used in political precincts. Both sides want to destroy anybody that was associated with Epstein. And the problem is that a federal investigation, they don't make a determination whether you had what kind of a relationship you had with Epstein. They said so-and-so had lunch with him, or maybe so-and-so saw him at a party. And I said, any name of a human being associated with Epstein in any way, that person's going to be destroyed. Because, the press is not going to put anything into context. So I said, but it's very important that the Justice Department tell the folks what they know. And you don't have to get specific with names, but you have to say, this is the information that we've compiled. And that's not hard. And I don't know why the Trump administration is not doing that.
Wow. So first of all, it's your fault that we're not getting any names. We learn a lot here.
Probably my fault, but the president.
No, you know what? I think you're right. I don't want all the names of the people. I want to know.
And I don't either.
I want to know the Justice. Right. I want to know the Justice Department has sorted through the things and then have gone through and said, this is criminal. This is not. These people are being indicted, et cetera, et cetera. But to come out and say there is nothing there, it's at least mass incompetence, at least from Pam Bondi. How could she come out and say, it's all sitting on my desk? And then when she doesn't release it, she says, well, that's because the FBI in New York is thwarting this process. There are people up there that are trying to keep this from me. And then she makes no arrests on that. We never hear about that again. And now all of a sudden there's nothing to see.
Well, listen. Pam Bondi doesn't make decisions on her own. No cabinet member does. All the decisions come out of the West Wing. So what I believe happened was Trump was so obsessed with the big bill, with Iran, with Putin, with China, that he didn't even think about this. Okay? And then it slowly began to unravel, and then it caught him by surprise. But this is easy to fix. So
easy.
If I'm in charge, and that would be a great thing for everyone except you, Beck, but every other American, if I were in charge, tremendous. You would be in Botswana.
No.
Right.
Oh, I know.
You would be on a plane on your way.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I'd be the ambassador of the white farmers in South Africa if it were up to you. I know.
No, you'd be wandering around going, I'm Glenn Beck. And they go, who? That's what you'd be doing.
That's every day.
So this could happen within the hour. Pam Bondi announces a press conference for tomorrow. At that press conference, sitting next to her is Merrick Garland, everyone, the Attorney General under Biden, who had this stuff for 4 years. Now, I understand that Mr. Garland has gone native and is living in Anguilla, but we can find him. We can pull him out of there and have him and Pam sit there and answer questions in a general way about what evidence the Justice Department of the United States has compiled.
Not going to happen.
That's it. Well, if it's not going to happen, then President Trump is going to take a hit. But he's calculating that this will fade. It's not that important. But I don't know why he won't do it. I just don't know. And I'm usually pretty good at predicting what the president does or does not do.
So here's the thing, Bill. I think he keeps focusing on Epstein. It's not that big of a deal. It's not about Epstein. It's about justice. It's about can we trust the people? Correct. It's all about credibility and justice. He's not seeing that, and I don't know how he's missing that. Because I agree with
look,
you.
I don't
He's been
know
so
either.
busy on so many other things that
that's right.
This is
That's
not
right.
at the top of his priority list, but he did campaign on it.
Right, and I don't know if there's anybody inside the White House who are going to, he looks to be annoyed when this subject comes up.
Oh, I know.
And here's what works. People have to understand. A guy like Donald Trump runs it all. If he's annoyed, nobody's going to want to annoy him more. Okay? That's just how it works. But the overarch is, because Epstein got favorable treatment by the feds in the first go-around in Florida, that there's a deep suspicion about this case. But if you break it down, if the Biden administration had any dirt on any Republican associated with Epstein, it would have been out. And vice versa. If the Republicans had any dirt on any Democrats, now we know that former President Clinton was involved with Epstein to some extent. I don't know whether that's a factor. Okay, I don't know. But you're right for once. You're right. It's about credibility. It's about the American people trusting that we do have equal justice for all.